where to get help. And that's what I suffer for over 40 years of my life. I didn't know asking for help wasn't a sign of weakness. It was a sign of bravery.
Welcome to episode number 31 of the 100 Successful Women, a Conversation to Inspire series. So if you are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you click on the subscribe button so that you will receive a notification whenever there is a new video uploaded to the channel. So episode 31, it is a new milestone for this series. Again, I am so grateful to each and every one of you who make this happen. So in episode number 31, I am so thrilled to introduce to you Martha Monk from Super Confident Coaching. So Martha has been so kind. I knew her on Facebook. I have been seeing all her posts on the Facebook, on social media, and I really like what she was sharing and what are the things that she has been doing are so motivating, so inspiring. That's why I took the courage to go and reach out to her and ask her if she is open to accept my invitation to become a guest for this 100 Successful Women series. She has been so kind. She just say yes right away. So thank you so much to Martha for being part of this 100 Successful Women. So you must be wondering, who is Martha? Martha is actually a multi-award makeup artist. She is from the Dmakeupstation, who have been a multi-award winning hairstylist and also makeup artist, like I mentioned. So she is also a coach who teach people how to become super confident. She has been to some challenges herself. She is a role model for all her clients because she has been there, done that, and she got a message that she is having so much knowledge and wisdom that I enjoy so thoroughly during our conversation. I really appreciate what Martha is sharing, and I learned a lot throughout our conversation as well. So there are a few, I just want to read some of the awards that Martha received. She was the designer of Dream Awards in 2020. 2015 and 2016 for being top 15 finalists for makeup and hairstyling services. She is a top 10 finalist in New South Wales, 10 years in a row for the Australian Bridal Industry Awards. And she's also the competition judge for Australian Makeup Industry Award and Beauty Expo. I was literally amazed by all her achievement, by all her accomplishment, but yet she is so humble, and I really love her energy and being someone who is so authentic. So I really wanted you to listen to Martha sharing coming up next. So make sure you finish this video, okay? Let's dive in and listen to Martha's stories.
Know that they might not get it, but I choose me. They might think I'm crazy, but let them, cause I choose me. Some people might even get jealous, but I choose me. I need to do what makes me happy, so I choose me. I know that they might not get it, but I choose me.
Hey Martha, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much. So for those of you listening out there, I know Martha through Facebook, and I have been secretly following her for quite some time. I love all her posts on Facebook. So when I asked her if she's willing to be one of the guests, and she's so kind that she said yes immediately. Thank you so much, Martha.
It's my pleasure to be able to share with all of your audience.
Thank you. So I know that you are a multi-award winning makeup artist, you are a life coach, and there are a few roles that you're playing as well. So before we go into that, one question that I always ask is, who is really Martha Mock despite all the roles that you're playing?
I guess that Martha Mock is just a very simple woman who had a colorful past, but refusing to give up because I know deep inside I deserve more. And I think to sum it up, that's who I am. I am the most authentic person that I know. It's just about allowing that vulnerability to come out, understanding that being taken advantage of is just a learning curve. And one of the things that I do realize is whenever that for people like me that who have experienced some colorful background, and we often said that things happens to us, but now with some training, with some acknowledgement and realization, what I find is that Martha is the person that who have things happen for her. So it make the person who I am today.
I love that. It's always the case that people might think that things that happen to them or the past is the reason or the excuse that they can't move forward. And I love that you are seeing them in a different perspective. And yeah, we'll talk about some of your colorful life probably a little bit later. But do you want to share with us out there as well? What are you currently doing? I know that you are, like I mentioned, you win a few awards and you are also a judge for a beauty contest or something like that as well. So what are the things that you're currently doing?
So I have been a professional makeup artist for over 19 years. So I'm a trainer, I'm a competition judge for some of the biggest makeup competition in Australia. So that I'm very honored to be. And this year, again, I'm going into the Beauty Expo, helping them with judging, doing demonstration, going onto a panel. So that's what I give back to the beauty and the makeup community. During the COVID time, that's when the time that all our industry stopped. So I'm sure that all of you who have experienced COVID, it was a tough period for all of us. And during that time, my new partner at that time, he suggested me to go into looking into coaching area. And I'm always interested about self-development and learning. And it's like, okay, I give it a go. That's how I started my own company, Super Confident Coaching. And from that, I realized that what I wanted to do is to bring myself as a role model expert, someone that who been there, done that, and showing you how to do it, instead of like a reporting expert, which they report other people's result, or someone that who only study it but haven't been through it themselves. I rather to use my own experience of what I've been through in my life, in my business, in my relationship, so I can teach other people how to maintain their confidence, how to still show up authentically and without being manipulative, but not stupid into advancing in their career and in their life. So that's how I become a confident coach to other people as well. So I am a makeup artist. I'm a confident coach. I am someone that in the community that who's willing to help and support other people in need. That's who I am.
Wow, your life is so interesting, and I got so many questions to ask you.
Feel free.
Thank you so much for sharing with us. So what got you into, you say you are in the beauty industry for nearly 20 years. That's quite
nearly 20 years
time.
now. Yeah,
And
which is like, I'm 45. I'm actually not that young.
Oh, that's still young. Your age is just a
Yeah.
number, and you doesn't your age is like, you looks like 30s to me actually.
Which is great. That's when
Yeah.
the purple hair helps.
Yeah, because you're in the beauty industry. That's all the secrets. There must be maybe some secret to not to age gracefully with you later. So one thing that I wanted to ask earlier is that what or who inspired you to get into this beauty industry, Martha?
I was always very good in art. That's what I'm really good at. And when I was in high school, I was in doing 3 units arts in in the art degree. And then it turned out that I was very good at it. I won a first prize at an art competition. But then back in the days, I was worried that I'll become Van Gogh. When I die, that's when I make my money. That will be a problem. So I went into doing marketing instead. And for some reason, at a holiday, I went to Hong Kong and studied there for 3 years and worked there for 3 years. By the age of 21, I was already a supervisor in marketing at one of a watch manufacturer. So that gave me plenty of experience in the business world, working with industry experts, working in trade show, working with manufacturer back into the China background. And then somehow in there, I was getting into the point of burned out. I was experiencing a lot of mental stress because it is very stressful if you're working in an Asian country. They expect you to work twice as long, twice as hard. And I'm not used to it. Being a girl that had been living in Australia for over 10 years before I went back, it was tough for me. And then when I got back into Australia, I realized that I was suffering from depression and anxiety. I realized that one day when I was going to work, I was working for Optus branch as a buyer at that time, and my knees were shaking walking up on a hill near North Sydney. And then I realized that I need to do something about it. So I went and see a doctor, and then they said to me, you probably are suffering from depression. They prescribed me with drugs and stuff like that, and I don't like them. It made me grind my teeth. It wasn't a very good feeling. And then they said that you need to look for a part-time job for a while. I'm like, okay, I'll go and look for a part-time job. So at that time, I was working for a receptionist at a health clinic. So it helped me to understand a bit more of a health background, using natural therapy and supplements to help myself. And then at that time, at the same time, I was working for a hair transplant company that do topical coverage. And I was saying that, wow, like, I'm really interested in makeup and hair, but like, I don't know where to start. And I was a bit older, okay? I was about 25, 26 at that time. And then one day I decided, you know what? My sister-in-law is going to open her first salon. And I'm like, I'm going to rent a corner to actually do makeup for $25, okay? As a starting point, like that was a long time ago. And then I was like, okay, let me start there. So I went and actually did about 3 makeup courses in 1 year to learn about the makeup industry, and then started my business there. And then within the first year, I was like, oh, there's the beauty expo going on. I'm like, okay, I'm going to enter the makeup competition in there. And to my surprise, within a year, just over a year in the industry, I won my first makeup award in the makeup competition. So I'm like, oh, it looks like I got a bit of talent in this. And within 3 years, I become a top 10 hair makeup artist in Australia. And I was able to maintain that for the last few years. So it has been amazing that I'm not only able to pursue my passion in art, that I find a way that I can paint on people's faces and then make very good money on it. And like, I'm like 200 times of what I actually wanting to charge now. But it's great because my job takes me all over the world to actually work. I've been to Paris, I've been to London, been to Korea, been to Japan, been to Taiwan, Singapore, Bali. All of those places is because of my makeup job take me there. I do international weddings as well. And that have opened my eyes to a lot of things. And during the COVID time, because when everything stopped, all the travel stopped, I have to look for other things to do. And that's when I went into doing online coaching, helping people with confidence. And within 3 months of working in as helping people in confidence, I realized that a lot of people have lack of understanding in their business. They treat their business like a hobby, which is what other people see makeup artists at. They don't look at makeup artists and think that you are a professional. They think that it is a part-time job, is something that you only do it when you have time. The truth is a lot of people didn't realize how much we were actually earning. It's like one of the things that my ex-husband used to say is that I earn more than a prostitute on a weekend. So there you go. That's why they're an ex. But yeah, in that saying that I was able to maintain a very, very good living, just doing makeup artistry and working 2 days a week. And that has been my lifestyle. So becoming an online coach, that helped me to maintain that lifestyle of working whenever I want, whenever people needs me. And I like that. And using my business understanding, my marketing knowledge at the background, that helped me to complete the whole picture of wanting an online business. Because a lot of people don't realize what is needed. A lot of people who want a business think that back in the olden age, we can just hide behind the back, like hide behind our desk and just work, and then we'll be successful. These days, it's very, very different. It's all about being exposure. It's about getting connected with the right people. It's about networking. It's about being seen, being heard, and being directed. All of that is very different compared to what we used to run business like 15 years ago. So the last few years have been a big transformation and a learning curve for all of us that who are running a business or trying to actually start something new. So it has been a great journey so far, from learning about makeup, helping people, helping women, especially to feel confidence in themselves from the outside. Now I help women to feel confident from the inside by helping them with finances, with business, with career, with self-esteem, and also in their relationship area.
I love that. I love that you're actually giving the other women out there the beauty from the outside and then inside as well. That's so good. And the COVID is like a blessing in disguise for you as well.
It has been. I have to say, like a lot of people, I think that it did hit all of us hard, and especially for the mental effect of it, especially after COVID, the last year, I think it has come the transitional stage where a lot of us feel, oh, okay, the shock has been gone. Okay, what have happened? And it affected our mindset a lot too. We become procrastinated. We become a little bit scared to move forward. We become this person that feel like that, oh, I'm an imposter. Like, who am I to be able to share what we want? And I think that affected a lot of us in the business. What is your view on that, Vivienne?
Yeah, that's definitely, like you say, sometimes it does impact on some people. And like you say, it's get me into that. In fact, that's get me into a comfort zone as well. Because for the past few years, we always stay at home, and getting out to meet people again, it's like getting out of a comfort zone, especially for myself as well. So we used to be like network with people online. So it takes some time for me to get used again to go out to face-to-face networking. But I'm glad that we're actually back to that face-to-face, because it's actually very different being able to connect with people again.
It is true. It's true. Even just a simple hi and bye, a simple hug from people, it does change our mood and our emotion. And during that COVID time, I think a lot of us realize that isolation, that loneliness is what is actually causing us to keep ourselves in the shelf. And breaking out that shell, it sounds easy, but inside of it, because we have experienced the fear, we constantly thinking about what if it happens again? What can I do to prepare myself on it? So a lot of the time that our action is based on worry and fear, instead of excitement of, oh, what's going to happen? It's like, oh, I'm going to Disneyland tomorrow. We lost that feeling of excitement. So that's what I wanted to help other people to realize, that as long as that you're confident in what you do, and a lot of people will just ask me, why do you think confidence is so important? Confidence is just a thing. A confidence is a born need that everyone have. If we don't have confidence, we won't speak the way we speak. We don't walk the way we walk. We won't choose the food that we wanted to eat, because we will just follow others' leads. It is the core base of what we need as a successful, positive person, is to have confidence into our day-to-day living, into the way that we action, and the way that how we accept other people treating us. So once we understand that, that's how we can expand using our confidence and our authenticity to make the life that we want, to get the result that we desire.
That's so true. And I really love that. So have you always been this confident?
No, because I've been bullied from a very young age. Like since kindergarten, I was always in our class. I was always a bit different. I'm louder, I'm happier. I always have this positive smile. But under that positive smile, just like Robert Williams, he always make people feel happy. But the inside of us was quite dark and lonely. During my primary school age, didn't really have a friend for 4 years that I literally, it's my recess and all my lunch all by myself without anyone coming close to me. And it was a dark age, but like despite everything that I have been through, like I've been through being sexually molested by someone I trust from a very young age as a relative, and all of that made me, it could either go one way or the other. A lot of people will turn into drugs and other addiction to overcome the pain they feel. For me, I was lucky that my parents, they're quite positive, especially my mom. My dad is probably the more negative one, but my mom is always positive, and then that sort of rubbed off on me. And I realized that I have a choice to make. Either I choose to be dark or I choose to be light. And I'm at that moment, I decided no matter what will happen to me, I choose to be light because I don't want any other person to have experienced what I've been through. And in saying that, like, because of all the bullying, you could actually say that, like, even that it did happen for me. But at that stage, when I was in the victim mode, I pretty much say, oh, okay, because I've been bullied, because I've been through all of that sexual molestation, I become a very needy person, someone who crave for love and attention. And that's why I married the first guy I met. I was only 21 when I got married during the trip into Hong Kong, and I stayed there for 3 years. And the first 3 months, it was great. And then afterward, the real him come out. He was a narcissist, and he was very lazy. He doesn't really work. So I was supporting the family for the whole 10 years that we were, like, you know, the last 10 years of we were together. And for the last 5 years that we were together in that marriage, there was no more intimacy. There was, he was, a lot of the time he won't be at home, or a lot of the time he choose to sleep on the sofa, where the sofa actually have a din on it. That's how much he slept there. So it makes me become a more closed-in person. I become this person that pretending that everything is okay, because even though I was very sad and lonely during my love life, I was going very successfully in my career as a makeup artist. I was traveling a lot. I was teaching other people, and I planned my career from a long time. I become a professional trainer a long time ago before my business picked up. I learned how to build up my own team to accept more jobs and to collect commissions. So all of that come from my learning and understanding in business and marketing. So that helped me into choosing the path that I wanted to go. And I think the reason that who keep me into the light is I do believe that things happen for a reason. And it is only our mind that who can tell us that happened to me and I will be suffering from it. Or it happened for me, now I'm no longer that person and I can take control back. And I think that's where the mindset shift is. And this is the reason why I developed a 2-second mindset shift technique, that I help other people to shift from I'm the victim to become I'm the winner. So that's the main difference.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that so close to the heart story of yours, Martha. And yeah, you did say that you make the decision, and it's always start with the one decision, right? And you did mention that your mom is the one who is more positive. So you would say she is the one that in your inspiration, or she is the mentor that guide you to who you are today?
I feel like that my mom, the positive side of her have helped me to stay positive. And my mentor is actually the people that I met in the industry. When I was actually doing makeup artistry, I met some celebrant, and then she's actually a consultant, and then we become really good friends, and she's one of my mentors. And then I have, during my divorce stage, I was going on back into dating, And during my dating side, I have met two amazing gentlemen that we have no romantic chemistry, but we become one of our dear friends. So we become very, very good friends together. And one of them is in the mental health area. So he helped me to pull through that tough period of going after divorce. So with mentor and things like that, I think that everyone that who come into your life, they teach you something. Mm-hmm. Even that I'm talking to you today, Vivienne, you are teaching me something of being able to actually share to the world and learning to be vulnerable and talk about it. I'm teaching you and your audience that this is what happened, but it doesn't have to continue to happen this way. And we all are given a choice, like especially for us Asian, with our family culture and our tradition, we are born and told that we should be the daughter, the sister, the mother that the society and our tradition want us to be. We always have to take care of our parents. We have to take care of this person, that person, because we're the woman who are born to be. And that sort of thinking, that tradition have trapped so many of us, Asian, non-Asian, a lot of women in that thinking that, oh, we have to be that person that give more, even that when we are on an empty cup. And that's what caused a lot of problem in our mental health and our well-being. And I'm definitely seeing my mom is one of them. So she will be someone that I'm like, okay, I don't want to be like her. I don't want to be like her. How can I actually change my life for the better? And I did. I find my voice. I was able to find my things that it would inspire me to do. I find my passion of what I wanted to do. And they didn't stop me in being who I am. So that I'm very, very grateful for. So learning gratitude, learning to start saying no with respect, that have helped me to become this person that other people respect us. A lot of time that we don't realize when other people don't respect us, it's because we first didn't respect ourselves. We constantly saying yes in everything that they ask us to do. We constantly being fixable for them, even is out of our way. We constantly doing this kind gesture, even it is actually causing us pain. Why do we do that? It's because what someone else told us before. Other people have experienced it and shared for us before. It is their belief. It is not our belief. And we can change that belief from education and learning. That's why I always say that I'm very attracted to knowledge. I'm attracted to intelligence. It's because that helped me to see a new light every single day. For those of your audience here today listening to this, you realize that your effort of listening to this audio, listening to this YouTube channel have already given you a light in your life to help you to achieve a different result even when you're taking the same action. That's what you wanted to do, to be able to do something a little bit differently so you can get a completely different result at the end.
So good. I love that. That's so true that it's really true that especially when all the women out there that were told, like you say, trying to be the good girl, good mom, and they put themselves last. And I really think that this message is so important to all the women out there. And really, this is one of the messages that I'm trying to get out there for more women, because that's especially in our culture, that's especially a lot of people didn't get this message as yet.
Yeah, it's the guilt that we can ask for help, because I was one of them. I pretend that everything is okay. On stage, I'm this confident, shining light. I'll talk to thousands of people. In my heart, when I'm alone, I'm sad, I'm alone, I'm empty, I'm too embarrassed to ask for help, and I don't know where to get help. And that's what I suffer for over 40 years of my life. I didn't know asking for help wasn't a sign of weakness. It was a sign of bravery. And I'm here to tell all of you women who are pretending that everything is okay. You may want a very successful career. You may be in a relationship or you're married with kids. You don't have to pretend anymore. There is people out there like you and me that who are willing to help to support them to get through that bottleneck they're in. Because by shifting our mindset, it can already make us realize what we're doing and how we can get better. It's like I share this technique with all of the people about my 2-second mindset shift. This first seconds is only about acknowledgement, acknowledging what have happened, giving it the proper funeral, the kosher it needs, so you can move on without the guilt, without the worry, and without the fear. Because too many of us are looking at the situation is like, I'm going on a diet tomorrow, and the reason why I'm going on a diet is I don't want to look bad for other people. It wasn't anything about us. It wasn't that the fact that I want to become healthier. I wanted to feel better about us. That no, I wanted to be better for my husband so I don't look too fat in his eyes. That was their motivation. And a lot of us do that. And I've been there. I totally understand it. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. And the reason that why it won't work, think of it this way. You're at a crossroad, okay? You're going on your journey to get better. But what you're holding back is all the fear of rejection, all the fear of failure, all the fear of not being able to be good enough package it up into a beautiful wrapping paper like a Santa Claus, and you hold it to your back and then looking into the future and okay, I'm going to move forward. But the weight of that Christmas bag in you, all the fear, all the rejection, it becomes so much harder, such a heavy luggage for you to keep moving, isn't it? It's so hard when you got all of this on you. But so many are still doing it. We package it so nicely and say, yeah, that's past trauma. I've been healed from it. I'm fine. You grab that bag on your shoulder and you keep moving. And what you're using is willpower. It's like, I'm going on a diet and then I'm using my willpower not to eat. And we all know how that turned out. Mm-hmm. How many of us will say that we're going on a diet and then we'll book a buffet next week? Isn't it? It's exactly the same thing. Why? Because there was no reason behind your action. You haven't acknowledged what have happened. You haven't given the closures that it needs. Until you have that, you don't know where to go next. So my advice to all of you is, if you're trying to do something new, the first thing is you have to admit that it have happened. You have admit that you've been abused. You have admit that you have been taken advantage of. You have admit that you've been hurt. All of that have allowed you to give it the proper burial it needs. Put it into the filing cabinet that it needs and say goodbye to it. Once you goodbye to it, you no longer have to package them up. You can leave the baggage and start looking at your future with more excitement. Isn't that a lot lighter? That would be a lot easier, isn't it?
Wow. That's so good. And it's like, I literally have goosebumps listening to this, and it's so true. Yeah, closure to the past and to move forward. It's a lot harder than it say, but then sometimes it's the decision and to decide that you really wanted to put that down.
Exactly. And the reason is that, do you realize that only kind people actually have that regret, that worry, that baggage? Like real imposters don't, because they don't care. They don't care about what other people think. It's those of us who are kind and loving will have those packages because we worry about how we make other people feel. So for once in our life, we're allowed to give ourselves that closure, to tell ourselves that, hey, you know what? Yes, you've been hurt. Yeah, you were the victim. Yes, you were traumatized. Guess what? The person that hurt you, who caused you this pain, they're having ice cream over there. While you're here crying and suffering, they're enjoying their life. Is that fair? No. Then why should I continue to do it? And that's the image I keep in my head. Every time I like to go back into the hole, that's human. When we're down, we like to go back into a hole. So I keep thinking that person is at the beach and eating ice cream, while I'm here in a winter jacket, sweating myself out, and I'm not willing to take off that jacket. And the decision is on me. I have to be the person that will take off the jacket and let the breeze come in to soothe all my sweat, to enjoy the sun and the breeze. So I am the only one who can make that action. And that brings into the second step of my 2-second mindset shift. Second step is about action. We must be willing to take off that winter jacket, so we can cool it down. And when we say that, okay, it's just like going back into going diet, that scenario. Say, okay, I'm going to go on a diet. That's an action, isn't it? So why does a lot of us book a buffet the week after? It is because there's no reason and no why behind that action. If you tell the person you're getting married in 2 months, I can tell you she will go on a very strict diet. Okay, because there's a need for her to feel better about herself. That's why most of the bride will become skinnier when they are actually going wedding, because they have a reason for it. And afterward, within 2 months, they're back to their normal size because there's no more reason for it. And that's exactly the way that I say it. When you have an action, you need to find a will. You need to find a why. You need to find a reason to back that up, to give yourself that reason why you want to go on that diet. Why do you want to start your business? Why don't you go back to your comfort zone? Why do you want to stay in the growth zone? There's so much trauma, so much unknown, so much uncertainty. Why do you want to do it? And go back to your why. Because I want to make a better living for my family. Because I wanted to have more times with my kids when the business is set up. I wanted to be able to manage my time better. That's the reason why. Every single human has 6 different human needs, okay? Uncertainty, being significant, certain, are just some of those that it can help us feel fulfilled. So if we can take that 6 human needs and put it into our action and put down what we need to actually move forward, it will help to make up your decision better.
So powerful. I really love your mini coaching session over there. That's so good. There's so many powerful and so much wisdom that you share. And I think that for whoever who hear your part of the sharing, that's going to give them a lot of action plans, a lot of things that they can do from there. I really love that. You did say that throughout your journey being in the marketing and then become a makeup artist, I know that you did mention there are a few things, especially your divorce, and they're also setting up the business. What are some of the challenges that you face along the ways, and how did you overcome them?
I'm an introvert.
Oh.
Okay. See, everyone, if I actually say that, they're actually surprised. I'm actually an introvert. I'm actually scared of people. I used to think networking is scary. People just want to come and get a piece of me. I used to think public speaking is actually like I'll be standing naked on the stage. I used to think all of that. That I am an introvert. I'm not an extrovert. But then I learned, if I want to succeed, I need to be seen. It's like I'm selling ice cream, but I'm not telling you what flavor I'm selling. Who will come and buy from me? Isn't it? That is the reason why I do it and how I overcome my introversion. It's just that I need to be seen. Okay, what do I need to be? I need to be on social media. I'm terrible at technology. I used to say, it took me about a year to understand what a funnel is. I used to call it a tunnel. What's that tunnel meaning? And about 10 people try to explain to me what it is. It took me a year. And then now I can build my own funnel. It's not about what you don't know. It's about, okay, what do I need in this path to make my job easier? I can go back into doing ancient way, like pen and paper, instead of using a computer, or because that would just take me 10 hours extra to do it. So that will affect my thinking of spending more time with my loved one. So when I'm coming to face a decision, then I have to make, okay, I have to learn how to do this. Okay, who will be patient enough to teach me how to do? It did take me about 6 months to just learn how to build a funnel. And then now I build my own website, do all of that myself. And I still have things that I can't do. I still need my experts' help. But you got to first ask for help. And also, there's a lot of people that I teach, and then they say that, oh, you know what's hard? I actually gave them the offer. I said, would you like my help? And they had to think about it. Isn't it silly when people say that, oh, would you like my help? We have to think about it before we say that we're like, yeah, we love help, because we feel like that we're embarrassed to ask. Like everyone in our life told us that asking for people, we're beggars. That's only weak people do that. That's what people tell us. And I'm like, instead of, okay, if he can tell me and teach me this. I save $1,000 for people to make my website. Why not? Isn't it? Because we have to balance in our head, what is the pain, what is the pleasure. So when the pain is 5 times greater than your pleasure, that's when you are going to do it. That's the only reason why you're going to do it. So for anyone who wants to anchor themselves, they need to magnify their pain so much that they know it's like, okay, learning technology, learning to do a Facebook Live, learning to run your business using the internet. It's all learning. I didn't even know what button to click on Zoom before. Like, what button? Okay, which button is what button? I have to learn. Like, I'm oldie. I keep saying that. I'm an oldie. I'm not that young. So I don't come from a place with internet and computer and all of that. I still remember the first one with the green box and green buttons coming out. I went through that stage, okay? So I understand a lot of you out there who are like in middle-aged women who are successful in their career and who are maybe thinking about starting their side hustle or starting their online business. Technology is one of the harmful things that they have, but it's not hard, okay? There is courses out there which I actually provide as well that who can teach you how to actually do it step by step. And I teach people on that as well because, like I said, I'm a role model expert. I only teach people what I know. What I don't know, I bring in an expert to help you. Because otherwise, like, you know, there's experts in all different areas. I can't know everything. I just know enough to actually for my business to survive.
Wow. When like everyone's saying when there is a will, there is a way.
There is a will, there is a way. There's always. What's the biggest thing for us women is learning not to give up. Okay, I'm going to share this story about dating. Okay, after my divorce, I went for a very spinal in the dating. And I was 40 years old, a size 16 girl, so I wasn't small Asian eyes, glasses, short hair. I'm not a typical feminine woman. I have a lot of masculine energy. I want my business. I don't need men's help. I want their company, but I don't need them. So all of that masculine energy and trying to attract people didn't work because that's not what the other opposite sex is looking for. Even if there was a male or female, it doesn't matter. No one's look for someone to come in and dominate them, except they're like, you know, they're very different. If we want someone who can lift up us in life, not just being our son or daughter, I don't need someone like that. I want someone who can help me to lift up my life. And that's when I actually have to scale up myself and learn to control my masculine and feminine energy. And after my divorce, I went on to countless online dating. I could meet 5 people in a week. Like, people always call me, like my friend used to say, "Oh, you're a professional dater." I'm like, okay, I'm 40 years old and I'm like, I don't have a lot of time. So am I going to sit here and do nothing, or I'm going to continue to go and search for the people that I want to? So I decided it's time for me to keep going. And I understand the daunting task in dating, okay, how hard it is to do your profile, or the scammers, or the ghost people out there. I've been there, I've done that, I experienced it. So I have worked out some scenario and strategy to help women to navigate in the dating scene, because that's how I found my partner. I find him at my peak. I find him when I finally find myself, when I finally love myself, and I finally have boundaries and value. So I know what to express to my partner, so he knows what he's expecting. Like, I tell him that it's like I got this, pretty much I got this thing about working out who you are. I ask people to actually tell me 3 animals or character that you can represent yourself. And based on that, I can have a deeper understanding of who you are. So for me, I told people that I'm a dinosaur, I'm a princess, and I am a unicorn. So what that means is, I'm a dinosaur. I'm very protective. I'm very protective of people who I'm working with. I'm protective of my business. So I know when to say no, when we'll say yes, and when we'll allow opportunity to come in. And I don't have the worry about not accepting other people into of my life, so I can be a dinosaur. That's who I am. I'm a princess, but not that kind of princess. I'm someone who's like a warrior princess. I'm hardworking, I'm fighting, I'm happy to fight, I'm a warrior, but I'm loyal, I'm committed, I'm driven, and I'm kind to the people around me. So that's the kind of princess I am. And I'm a unicorn. I'm magical and creative. I want to bring happiness and joy in other people's life. And that's how I see myself. So that helped me to understand the different personality that we have. And it helped the people who are connected to you. They understand you a bit more. It's like when I first date Malcolm, which is my current partner. We've been together for 4 years now. I told him from day one, I'm like, I don't cook. I don't clean. I hire a cleaner to do it. I only know how to make money. That's who I am. Okay. I'm not the typical housewife. And for someone like me, if I can find the wonderful, kind person that I'm looking for, the intelligent person that I'm looking for, who are you to say that you can't find the person you want? Isn't it? A lot of us tend to trap ourselves and keep looking at potential in our own bracket. And we don't expand it, because I would never imagine I will find someone like Malcolm. Someone who's very independent. He's actually in the military. So like, it's just like he's on deployment sometimes. And it's like, wow, I never thought that I would be able to date someone like that, but it works really well for us. When he's not here, I can focus on myself. When he's away, he have a chance to miss us. So after my divorce, I went for about 60 different relationship courses. 60, I'm not kidding, because my first husband was my first boyfriend. So I don't understand dating. I don't understand men. I don't understand intimacy or relationship. Okay. I have no experience about it. I don't even know how French kiss. Let's be honest like that. So I have to go and learn about it. And I study and study and study. And it's funny, when I first started, I was either going to be a confident coach or I'm going to be a relationship coach. But at that time, I just started dating Malcolm. And I'm like, I feel like an imposter. Like everyone have that feeling. If we haven't been through it, I don't want to teach other people. So that's what I become. I say, okay, now that like 4 years into the making, we're very good. We talked about marriage and we have a goals in our life. Okay, it's time for me to help other women to have that confidence into the dating world. What things do we need to do? Because it's funny, a lot of people say, oh, I just want to date with my heart and things. And say, yeah, that's when you get heartbreaks and you don't know what you're doing when things comes up. Everything that we do in life, we need to have a plan. We need to have a strategy. It's not about being manipulative. It's about knowing what to do at the right time, because it's not about what we say. It's about how we say it. It's when we want to complain to our partner or asking for what we want, what we say, 2 very simple sentences. You can say, go and remove the garbage. Okay. Go and take the garbage out. Oh, baby. Oh, I love it when you take my garbage out. Same result, same meaning, very, very, very different outcome. Isn't it? Same result, the result is the garbage out. Okay, but the outcome will be different. He will be a lot happier. And then he come back and say, you're such a man. You push his ego up and he's happy. He come and give you a hug. And what the woman want? We want hugs and cuddles and kisses. Okay, let's be real. We can pay for our own bills. Okay, we can buy our own house. Why do we want a partner? Kids is troubling. It's true. Like for me, kids is troubling. Okay. So why do we want all of that in our life? It's because that we want that companionship. We want that cuddle. We want that intimacy. We want a little person to admire us and love us. And we want to give that extra love to that kind and loving human being. That's why we want to have a partner. That's why we want to have a family. Otherwise, why we're stupid enough to share half our bed, share half our income, half of what we eat? Why? Isn't it? So as a woman, we need to understand what love and relationship is and why we actually want it. Otherwise, we'll be going into the mountain like in a blur and hoping that everything is okay. That's not a plan. I'm not 18, okay? I'm no longer 18 years old and have the time to invest. I don't. So if I'm making an investment, I need to make sure that I get a reasonable return. It will never be as what we expected, because when we don't expect something, it turns out to be better. It always is the case, but we have to learn how do we do it. I don't leave things for luck. I leave things to intelligent planning and preparation. That's how I like to plan my life.
Wow. We thought that we are going to get some tips on confidence or makeup or beauty, but we got a bonus one today. It's about relationship. That's so important. And thank you so much for sharing that bonus tips with us. And so true, like communication beforehand is like so important. And then one of my mentors was saying that it's always people get into sour relationship later because they didn't have that communication at the beginning, and what are the expectations that they didn't really discuss earlier.
And the fun thing is actually to value first before communicate.
Value.
To value first. Show people how they valued it, then communicate. Because if you try to communicate with someone, this is the mistake that I made. I'd ask my ex-husband, why does he treat me like that? Why does he treat me the way he did? You know what he said to me?
What did he say?
Because you're not even worth a pile of dirt. You're worthless. That's communication. So if I change that sentence using what I know now, I value our relationship. Our relationship in a marriage is about supporting each other. What is your view on it? You let him open his heart, then communicate. That's where you get your result. That's the difference. A lot of women communicate first instead of looking at value. But the correct way to do it is look at value before communicate.
Wow, that's such a great tips there. So true. And then sometimes the words can be so powerful, right? One word can change the meaning, and it's like you mentioned earlier, getting the garbage out. The way you put into words, it comes as a different feeling for the other half as well.
Exactly. And the truth is, sometimes a woman likes to think a woman way. Unfortunately, men just come from mask and woman does come from fitness. It's a very good book to read. I recommend it to everyone. We do have a different needs. We do have different communication skill. So we need to understand that to be able to communicate to men. Like men will often say, I don't understand women. And women will often say, I don't understand men. What's the difference? It's because our communication style is different. So to learn other people's communication style is not about, I'll try to manipulate him and give him what I want. It's not about that. It's about you having a much easier life. Less wrinkle, less stress, less frustration, okay? And you live a longer life. That's the only reason. It's not for anyone else. It's for you to live a better life.
Yeah, so true. That's so good. I really love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And I really think that you got so much wisdom, especially when you study 60 or 70 courses about relationships. So anyone wanted to have a better relationship with their partner, make sure you get in contact with Martha as well.
Definitely. Like that's why I say that like confidence comes from excel in any way. It can help you to excel in relationship. It can help you excel in your career. It can help you to excel as you as a person. A long time ago, I didn't understand what self-love means. I remember the first person who said to me, you need to have more self-love during my time of divorce. I said them to F off because I thought I loved myself. I was giving myself the best luxury items money can buy. I'm going to eat the most best fine dining in the world. Guess what? That didn't make me happier. Not until the moment that I learned what self-love means, what understanding my value, my belief, how to set boundaries, and how to not let other people treat me as dirt and as worthless. That's when I find myself and find my happiness again. And to be honest, that sentence that because you're not even worth a pile of dirt, that has happened for me to wake up. Because without that sentence, I would not leave that 19 years of marriage. I thought that I could still change him. I thought that we could still maintain a relationship. But that sentence, thanks to him, that will woke me up, no matter what I do, it will never be enough in his eyes. guess what? There's plenty of fish out in the sea that who will see me as value. Just like I did, I find the one that who value me as who I am, and I value him as what he is. And that's the truth. Like, we always try to pretend to be this person that we're not. And without knowing that, hey, you know what the comfort is when you can be completely vulnerable with that person. When you can just tell him, I'm really not feeling well. I'm really feeling down. And they go out of their way to come and comfort you. That's why you're in relationship. Not for anything else. It's just that moment that you know, that safety that you're looking for.
So true. So that's so true. That's like, I don't know what to say. It's like so many golden nuggets that you just shared with us today. And I know that I really have so many more questions to ask, but because of the time, I better pick a few more that is what I think is very important to ask here. So since you are a super confident coach, what are some of your tips to become super confident?
Is to realize that you only need to answer for yourself. As long as you're not doing things that is disrespectful to others and not anything illegal, you're allowed to do it. If that will only affect you and you come first, that's how you become super confident. Super confidence is not about being the most egotistic person in the world. It's about being the most understanding person for you, because only you know what you want and you are allowed to fight for it. You are allowed to stand behind it. That person said that you can't buy this dress because you're too fat, too ugly, too old. Guess what? I'm going to lose the weight. I'm going to make myself fit into that dress. And guess what? I'm going to shine like a diamond. That's what super confident means. It's about not giving up as well. No matter what other people say to you, you become true to yourself.
Wow, I love that. That's such a great tip there, to do whatever, as long as you don't become illegal, just do it.
Yeah, and disrespectful to others. Like, I believe in karma. I believe in ethics. Okay, there's no need, even that you don't want to do something, you don't say, you're taking advantage of me, that's why I don't do it. That's being disrespectful. You just say, that's not for me for this moment. I'll look forward for the next opportunity. That's a completely different, same thing, but different outcome. Again, it's about our language, how we use our words to communicate with others.
Wow, that's so true. It's so many things that we can do to make us happy, and then as long as we are happy and we are confident as well, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And another thing is, what's next for Martha?
I am hoping, I'm in the plan of doing, I'm going to open a whole new series. I have written a new book. It's called Unlocking Love, a woman's guide to find love again after trauma. So I'm got my new books out, going to promote that. I'm going to open a whole series on of t-shirts, mugs, and hats and things like that for people to purchase. And I'm planning on doing my next group coaching program for people, because I do believe, yes, one-on-one is fun. It's always fun, but I wanted to be able to help more people. And I believe in the community power and networking power to actually help each other grow. And when we can create that safe space for people, it makes our journey a lot more easier, because as women, we like girl power. We like support. And it is hard for us to be vulnerable, but once we break down that shelf, we can get 10 times from it, because one person can only have so much knowledge. If you can get more from other people, why not? It's like pull power in from when you are weak, when you're not enough, pull power in to help you. And when you have extra, you give it out again. I always say to others, people, if there's one wisdom that I can share with all of you today, is never think that you're being taken advantage of. Never. Okay, sometimes life may seem that way. Oh, my boss worked me so hard. This client takes so much of it. Realize this. Because you have extra, you can give. That's why other people come and take. Realize that you are the blessed one, that you have extra to give. Once you know that, you will realize no one can take advantage of you because I am giving you my extra. It's because I am enough, I'm contained, that I have extra to give.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much for that, Martha. It's so beautiful. It literally got me into tears listening to what you're saying. Thank you so much for being so giving. And then I really love that idea of seeing things in a different perspective, seeing things in a instead of being lack, it's like more abundance. You have enough to give.
Yes, you are the one that who actually have enough. So when people take advantage of you, realize this only because you have enough, other people come. They're the lacking one. I am willing to give you what I'm extra. And you can also say, this is enough. You can move on.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much for that. So where can people find you online? Because you have so many things that you got that you can offer. So where can people find you online, Martha?
You can find me by searching Super Confident Coach. I'm the first one coming out from Google, Super Confident Coaching. You can find me across all social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I'm on Facebook a lot, I have to admit, because I love the platform. And also on my website as well, Super Confident Coaching. And if any of you want, I'm happy to give you guys a link of some of the books that I've written. If that can help you, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to send them to you.
Thank you so much for that. And the other question is, before we wrap up, is that if you have to give one piece of advice for other women out there, what will that be?
Ask.
Ask.
Do not be afraid to ask. Ask for help. Ask for support. Reach out. There's many times I see people asking for help, but then they don't take that advantage to go and do it. You were very excited for me to come and reply you straight away. That tells me a lot of women, really? Am I good enough? Really? Should I do it? Because we're too afraid to do it. So ask for that opportunity. If you don't ask, we can never connect. If you don't ask, you will never get the result you want. Because of what you're lacking can be filled up by other people's knowledge. It's not about you are not good enough. It's just about there's too many things in the world that you cannot possibly know at this very moment. So ask for help. If I know that I could ask for help, I wouldn't be in an abusive marriage for 19 years. If I know that I could ask for help, I would sort out my childhood trauma a long time ago. But I didn't know that I could ask for help. I didn't know that I continue to pretend that I'm the happiest person in the world. But I'm not. Look at Robert Williams. Look at Coco Lee. They all pretend that everything was okay until the moment that they can't take it. I think the death of Coco Lee have inspired us a lot of really the trauma that it can cause a person. She's rich, she's wealthy, she's pretty. What more does she want in life? Isn't it? We don't understand why her pain so, but I do, because she was pretending that she had it all. So how can we get better? Ask for help. Don't pretend. Just ask. There are people like you, myself, are willing to listen. It's not always about money. It's not about forcing you to buy a course. I do some charity work as well. It's all about having that opportunity to ask. Don't feel like that you're a loser when you ask for help. Start asking for help, because that is called bravery. That's not loser or weakness.
So true. That's so good. That's really, it's so important, even though it's just one word, ask.
Ask.
Yeah, I love that. That's so important. I think that's is one piece of great advice for many women out there. It's a great reminder for everyone. And I'm glad that I asked you to become the guest today, Martha. You have so much to give. Thank you so much.
I'm so excited to be on here. Thank you for interviewing me.
Thank you. So is there anything that you would like to ask that you would like me to ask that I haven't asked yet, Martha?
No, I think it's pretty good. If you need anything else, feel free to ask me.
Thank you so much, and looking forward to hear more about and follow on your journey soon, Martha.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.